Things always feel better when you've unpacked because you'll feel more like you're at home. At least I remembered reading that somewhere. No, it means you'll make more of a mess and it'll be effort to clean up later on. With that in mind, I unzipped my suitcase and began to organise my meagre wardrobe. What is this? I held up an extremely expensive pair of, shall we say, undergarments. Jinsu said some weird things. I would not be surprised if he were at fault for this. How did this get in here? Who did this? Because it sure wasn't me who bought. Jinsu and Nene. Yeah, she took long enough. It had to be. Somehow they'd conspired to distract me and sneak something into my luggage. This is what they thought I needed as a going-away present. I held it up to my nose and sniffed. At least it was new. Oh! Why would you do that? What if it weren't new? What if that wasn't new? Let's not even think about it. And it was made out of some kind of silky... The door flew open. I turned to see a diminutive girl with bright red hair. Ginger. Her foot out as if she'd just kicked the door clean off its hinges. She looked at me and then what I was holding in my hands. Oh, God. I threw it to the side of me, feeling my face turn red. I didn't... What are you doing in my room? Your room? This is my room. Your room, but... She leaned out to the hallway, a confused look on her face. Oh, bollocks. So sorry, totally my fault. I picked the wrong door. 2 down from the end, they said, and I picked the wrong end. Bit daft of me, wouldn't you say? Ooh. Yeah, that's why you knock before you go into a hotel room. Don't just bang it down, it might be the wrong sodding one. I'm Peggy, and I'm going to be a freshman. Isn't that ace? Ace. Oh, this person is 12 at best. I'm finally going to be in university, even if I had to wait for the later enrollment cycle. And good riddance too, it was absolutely bonkers being stuck with my old form. There was this one girl, Charisse, who would... Oh my... This girl talks for England, my God. Who would go out pulling every night. And this other girl thought Prince Philip should be ruling instead of the Queen, because women were inferior to men. Does American have the term pulling? I presume they do. There's no way they don't. I mean, can you believe that? And I had to live with that girl for so long. That's why I chose to come here instead of the dormies. I just couldn't do all that to get into uni, and I couldn't afford to get a flat by myself because I spent all my money on a Christmas trip to Spain. It's... you're not missing out on much. Oh, I'm not a crazy spender, you know. I planned for months to have that trip and didn't spend a penny more than I budgeted. Just now, I'm skint. Hi. If I poke her, will she notice? Got to live in the moment, that's what they say. Eat, drink, and be merry. Anyways, better get out of your hair, right? You're clearly very... Alright, slid over to where I'd thrown the silken underwear. Busy. I'm really not. Well, have a good night then. She slammed the door shut and I had the feeling the breath had been sucked out of my lungs. How could one person talk so much? At least she seemed friendly enough, and she was definitely from some part of England, judging by her accent and colourful language. Oh, that's right. A game set in England, you're going to spell the word colour wrong. I see how this is going. Well, it seemed that was that. By the time I finished unpacking, it was early evening. Despite the relatively early hour, I was exhausted from all the travel and stress. I didn't bother to shower, I just put on my pyjamas and crawl into bed. I could do the rest later. Yeah, who needs to go and cook and say hi to the people in the kitchen, am I right? Oh, that was a nice little transition, if nothing else. I barely woke up when I heard a hard knocking at my door. Hopefully I'll get one day in peace. You in there, get the hell up! I flipped out of bed and ran to the door, completely unaware of where I was or what I was doing. A man was there, glaring at me. You've got to report for work today, you know that. Yes? I blinked at him. I'm James. I own this place. I run this program. That makes me your boss. Oh, he's one of the people to point out that he is someone's boss. They're always the most lovely of people. You're going to be a maid at a nearby hotel. Find Angelo and make sure you go together. Arcee will also be working with you. Arcee? Arcee? It's probably Arcee. Wait, you mean I'm not cleaning room for the hostel? Ha! Cleaning rooms for the hostel. What do you think I am, a millionaire? Hell no. I'll look into it if something major happens, but until then, you're managing yourselves here. If something goes wrong, fix it yourself. You get yourself over to that fancy hotel. Owner's name's Francesca. Tougher than she looks. Don't make her mad. Why would we do that? Hi, I'm told that I'll be your maid here? Fuck off! Like, that's not how I'm going to introduce myself. Don't cause any trouble, understand? We don't need reasons for people never to hire you lot ever again. Hire, even not high. You do that and the entire program will be shut down. Not only will you be put out of a job, but I'll be out of a job, which means you'll be out of room and food, understand? Yes, sir! He scratched his ass, and I tried to hide my distaste. Speaking of food, breakfast is downstairs. Don't be late if you want to eat before you work. Get your schedule and don't miss a day on the job and don't bother me. So long then. He waved a short-fingered hand and headed off down the hallway. He sounds like a lovely person. I blinked, only noticing the smell he gave off when he was no longer around. Fresh air. For some reason, I felt like this hostel was less friendly work opportunities and more exploiting the labour of young, naive and stupid people like myself. You'd be correct! Well done for not being naive! Did I just get the short end of the deal? Probably. I don't know, they could be really nice and the work hours could be really short. However, we probably should have fucking looked at it before we signed up. It wasn't like I could do anything about it now. I was stuck here for a semester. I signed papers. Sighing, I went back into my room and got ready for the day. Breakfast was supposed to be included in my living arrangements at the hostel, but it was clear it wasn't going to be much, and if I didn't hurry, it might not be anything at all. Oh my god. What a lovely looking place! Oh wow! You can see the lovely rustic and cosy look of the room. Probably Victorian, the last time the walls were fucking painted! Like, what the shit is that? Someone's burnt the walls! My god! The walls are literally burnt. Well, it looks like a shithole, but it's, you know, at least my room's good. I found my way down to the kitchen where the promised breakfast appeared to be nothing more than a bowl of apples, milk and cereal and some sad-looking toast. The toast had been carefully cut into triangles and arranged on a wire rack, each piece separate from each other to be sure they cooled as fast as possible. Cold toast. Yuck. No, also just so, like, other people couldn't touch it, right? Well, maybe if I got up early enough in the future I could snag it while it was still warm. No butter packs, just a tub of spreadable margarine, no grape jelly either. Only honey and orange marmalade. Grape jelly? What the... Oh, jam! Right, jam. I was gonna say, what the fuck would you put jelly on toast? I forgot. Silly Americans. Calling jam jelly. I miss New York already. According to the schedule, I still had an hour before my first shift of work actually started. I decided to go check out the pub Danny mentioned. No, oh my... It's the morning in England. It's your first day of the job and you're going down a pub. Great. Some people who stayed at the hostel worked there, right? So maybe it would be a good place to go and socialise and meet friends. No pressure. Plus I could drink there. Not that I would, of course, but I could if I wanted to, hypothetically and legally. The Crafty Crown was right next to the hostel, so close that I could see it from my room. Thankfully, it didn't have any obnoxious lights or insanely loud music. Yep, that would be because it's a pub. Although the Crafty Crown doesn't seem like the greatest name ever. I think they've all got, like... It definitely follows the correct pub spelling. Pub naming, even, in England. Adjective, noun, green tavern, snooty fox, etc. Yes, those are real pubs near the place I live. I skipped across the stone walkway. Yes, a stone walkway, not concrete. Nicely laid out in neat... What's so weird about a stone walkway? Geometrical patterns, as if someone actually cared about the way it looked when they put it down instead of just their paycheck. I definitely think they cared about their paycheck. In no time, I reached the polished oak door and pushed it open. Okay, first of all, this is a bar. This is not a pub. You know it's a bar and not a pub because it's all brown. It's all like... None of it's brown. It's like purple and red and orange and yellow. All pubs are just brown, and if you're lucky, there's a different coloured, like, carpet. SMH. Also, I can't remember beer and tap being red, blue and yellow. The inside wasn't nearly as nice looking as the out. Honestly, it was a bit tacky. But it looked clean, and there were tables and booths for people to eat at, as well as seats across a bar for those just looking to drink. There was a woman working at the bar, and the outfit she wore was rather revealing. It reminded me of the sort of thing you'd see in a buxom wench on Oktoberfest poster. I don't know what that is. Or a Halloween barmaid costume. Right, so you just mean something revealing. Got it. She didn't seem to mind, as far as I could tell. I just hoped she wasn't cold. I hesitated in the doorway, unsure whether someone was supposed to seat me, or if I should seat myself. Glancing up, she waved me over. And it's a pub. You gotta just sit down somewhere. Or stand up. I mean, I'd hardly say that's revealing. What? He's just wearing a t-shirt and an apron. Are you kidding me? Hello, how can I help? She paused in the middle of her sentence, glancing across the room. I followed her gaze and saw a slab of beef walk into the pub, so to speak. Okay, we also need a word as to what a slab of beef is, because that's not a slab of beef. He's got decent pecs and arms, but it sort of falls off from there, really. His jawline is far too wide, though. Holy hell. He had dirty blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, and an extremely fit body. The kind of guy you assumed had a six-pack just from the way he walked. I mean, I definitely describe his body as fit and muscular. I wouldn't say slab of meat. He eyed her carefully, then crossed and sat down next to me. When I turned back to face the bartender, she was gone. Hello there, I don't think we've met. I'm Brendan. No accent, he was American. I'm Ogu Pigu. I'm a new boarder of the One. Really? I live there too. What a coincidence. What a great idea it was to come here. Oh, are you part of the program? Yeah, it seems the hostel owner and the bar owner are old school buddies. Kind of odd that they've stayed in business so long together. Even odder once you meet them. But it means I have a job, so I'm not upset. Sorry, should I do some awful American accent for him? Well, it's good to meet you. The conversation reached a natural lull and I began to sweat. That's quite a quick lull. That is record time, even. It was, what, 7 sentences said back and forth and then we just stop. Great. Making small talk was fine for me, as I usually repeated the same pleasantries to each person I met. But as soon as I had to find something to talk about, I panicked and drew a complete blank. Like right now. Where are you from? How long have you been here? How's your time here? Is there anyone I should look out for? Lots of questions you could ask, but then again, I'm better at small talk than she is. It didn't help that he was extremely attractive and the girl at the bar was too. This just wasn't something I was used to dealing with, not when I was actually open to romance. He smiled and leaned on his elbow. I hope you don't mind me saying, but you're rather pretty. Oh? I flushed and looked away. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed the bartender watching us carefully, and wondered why she hadn't come over to serve us yet. You know, I could get you something if you want sometime. I work here. You do? Yeah, but I'm off duty now, so there's only Ashley serving. He motioned to the bartender and she frowned. She started cleaning a sparkling glass with a rag as if there was a spot on it only she could see. No, that would be to, you know, distract herself. Clearly there's history between the two. He leaned next to me. Don't tell people, but she and I used to date. Things have been a little awkward since then. Oh, that must be uncomfortable. Right, but it's my job. I'd much rather we both had some space, but what can you do? He shrugged, I shrugged. You really couldn't help a situation like that. Anyways, it's about time for my shift, so I should go change. I hope I'll see you around dinner at some point. Yeah, that would be cool. He chuckled lightly and got up, walking around the bar and disappearing through a dimly lit hole in the wall. Hey, can I get you anything? Oh, now you come over and say hi. I looked up in surprise. Ashley was in front of me, smiling cheerily. The clean glass in her hand. Oh, no thank you. I can't stay. I just wanted to check this place out. Overheard your conversation. I hope you don't mind me saying. I also live at the One. It's nice to meet you. Does everyone here live at the One? It's like a university, but a hostel. Which makes even less sense, because, like, there aren't many people there. Yeah, you too. If you ever need anything, just ask. You can find me here most of the time. I'm always happy to help. She smiled brightly at me, and I found myself blushing again. Right, well then, it's about time for me to head off to work, I think. I stood and began to shuffle towards the doorway. Ashley giggled behind me. Why are you giggling? Have a good day. Thank you. Why are you giggling, though? I will. Why are the people here so attractive? Have you ever heard the grass is greener on the other side? Yeah, that's applicable. It's because it's something you're not used to, so you go to somewhere else and suddenly everyone is attractive, which doesn't quite make sense because Brandon was actually American. But details, details. It wasn't about finding someone I might want to date anymore. It was trying to choose between them. Hey, you just do the guy thing. Keep your options open. That way if someone says no, you've got a lot of other people to go to. None of that happens, I'm stereotyping. Perhaps I should get to know them first, as friends. Yes, maybe you should. After all, if we lived in the same building, I wouldn't want to have a short fling with someone that ended in bad feelings. I'd have to see them around every day. It had to be even worse for Brendan and Ashley if they lived and worked together, and they probably don't... When they live, I don't think they talk or see each other much, if we're going to be honest here. Speaking of work, which way was it to the hotel? Well, I mean, it's going to take like a few 100 years to clean every day, but other than that, it's pretty nice.